Welcome to Local 4 News Over Coffee, live from TPC Deer Run in Silvis. Today, the city itself is the focus. About 8,000 people call Silvis home. Hundreds of businesses are here, and the city of Silvis considers itself a city of progress. We welcome now Mayor Matt Clark and City Administrator Nevada Lemke to the conversation. Thank you both for being here.
Welcome to Silvis.
Now, we want to go into the progress the city is seeing in a moment, but first, let's address the pandemic. Certainly, no city, no community has been immune to the impact from the pandemic. What have been the biggest hurdles for Silvis, Mr. Mayor?
The biggest hurdles, we worked with a couple businesses on some loans we had to extend those loans. We also did a recovery in dollars for some of our business owners to extend as much as we can helping hand to our businesses.
What concerns do you have right now related to the new mask mandates and other mandates that have been issued by the state, and potentially, I guess, more restrictions that we don't know that could be looming?
Yeah, a lot of it's still for unforeseen. We have to follow what state mandates are, and that's the rule of the law for us.
Do you put any sort of provisional schemes in place just in case this happens, plan B, plan C, plan D ahead of time, or are you just kind of wait and see?
We've gone through it at least once, the recovery program, and we may have to do that again a second time, but we'll see what happens.
How would you say businesses have fared over the last year and a half?
It depends on the business. Let's say, for instance, we have grocery stores, 4 of them. It was a boom time for them. We actually saw a large increase in sales tax because of that. But at the same time, the restaurants faltered. And we worked with some of our restaurants to help them get by until we at least get the doors back open again.
What has the city been able to do to help those businesses?
Extending the loans, number one, for one, and also cash to a lot of those businesses.
And how many rounds? Different cities have had different rounds.
We've done one.
One round?
We've done one round.
What kind of eligibility was there for the businesses? How much were they able to get in relief?
It was a $3,000 all the way around, completely. It didn't matter if it was retail. In fact, a lot of businesses said no to it and said they were getting by, and thank you, but no thank you. And the ones that truly needed it actually took it as a helping hand and said thank you. But we're going to try to do it again if we need to.
Has the city itself seen any of the American Rescue Plan Act money, the last real big pandemic?
Well, we're working on that right now, and I imagine Nevada can probably elaborate on that. She's been working directly with the state on that.
All right, let's bring you into that then. Where is the city doing in terms of the American Rescue Plan Act money?
We just received our first disbursement this August, just a couple of weeks ago actually. So we're working with the council on getting a project list together for ideas for the community and thoughtful ways to spend that funding. And then there will be a second disbursement next August of the same amount. So right now we are just working through taking community input, departments, and the council together, all working on different projects that would make sense to use that funding and stretch it out as long as we can to ensure that our businesses and residents can continue to survive and flourish really during these. And
we know different cities get different amounts of money. What's Silvis' share of that?
So we got just over $1 million, about $1,016,000. So we'll have 2 disbursements of $508,000.
All they split over time.
Yep.
Now you're fairly new as a city administrator here, and the job was previously combined with Public Works. Did handle both of those responsibilities, and we'll speak with the later. As far as you know, why were the 2 positions separated?
I think with the growth in Silvis that we've seen over the past 5 to 10 years, obviously that becomes a much more demanding job to keep up with. So there's a lot of tasks that go with maintenance and taking care of infrastructure and everything as we have that growth, and that is a full-time job in itself for Public Works. So in order to continue giving the attention to both economic development and administration for the organization, it just made sense to have a full-time Public Works director to handle the staff and the upkeep of maintenance in our infrastructure.
When did the city realize there was a need for those responsibilities?
It was. 20 years ago, we had a separate Public Works director, but we did not have a city administrator. And then Jim Grafton was hired to do one and then took on the second task. But like Nevada said, we have grown so much. It's such a large job. It's tough to focus on so many different points and get it right the first time. It's just a large job to do.
Absolutely. Well, what is your plan?
Just focus Focusing on continuing the growth with economic development, finding those opportunities to bring in businesses and work closely with our business partners, and then working hand in hand with that new Public Works Director to make sure that that part of the job, the infrastructure and everything, pairs well with the economic development growth, and so we can have that communication, make sure we're growing together and everything's getting developed, and just kind of equal opportunity across the city for that development and growth.
What kind of projects, developments do you have in the works right now?
So we just finished the Avenue of the Cities Trail, and we've got a segment of the Grand Illinois Trail that we're working together with East Moline on. That's coming down Crosstown Avenue right now. So as we look towards our next fiscal year, we will bring a path to connect the two. We will go from Crosstown to Avenue of the Cities down 10th Street. So we'll start seeing some connectivity with that multi-use trail or bike path through the community. So that's pretty exciting. That's a definitely trending way for people to spend time outdoors and recreation. So we're excited to see that take off.
That's good, Nevada Lemke. Thank you for your time, Mayor Clark. For sure. Coming up, promoting Silvis during the pandemic, when an organization called Silvis Main Street has faced what successes it achieved so far during the pandemic. When Local 4 News Over Coffee continues.